But you know, Solar is doing absolutely fantastic today. A clean 2-0-2-0. And while he did struggle, and I say struggle, I mean he didn't just smash his opponents in the game 1 of both of the series that he did play. I mean, at the end of the day, it was never really in question who was going to win the game. Well, I guess it was in question, but at the end of the day, he was able to prevail. And you know what? 2-0-4-0 is not a result that I will ever complain about if I am, well, if I'm a Solar fan, or if I am if I'm Solar myself. So that's always fun. So really the question here is, what is Creator going to do against Armani? We saw 2 builds from him against Solar. One took it very late on this map. He took it to just about 5-6 bases, and then he recalled into Solar's main base and just lost his entire army and died. Hopefully we're not going to see that in this game. But it will be a Stargate opener at the very least. It will be Stargate on into Warp Gate 2, which, well, while not surprised... Oh, wait a minute. Never mind, okay. I was going to say, wait a minute here, the gas counts don't add up, but no, they do. So it's going to be Stargate, then Warp Gate. And Creator, for his part, I mean, he's shown an ability to play the Stargate style, and he was looking rather good in the previous series. I mean, it was just a matter of making one bad decision that lost his army, and he just was not able to rebuild it in time. And now, well, we're going to have to see what Creator's going to do in this game. Now, we did see Armani go for, we did see Solar go for the Spire build. That has actually been becoming a little bit more popular here in this matchup. It's a really good way to prevent the Protoss from finding his way on into an actual, into the carrier tech too early. But Creator didn't take any damage from it. I mean, yeah, he took like 7 probes of damage over the course of 4 minutes, which is really good. As oh, nice save there from Armani. We'll only lose 2 workers to the Adept, which, honestly, I think both players are going to be happy with that one. Yeah, 2 workers for an Adept. That's the value of the Adept, right? So Creator's not unhappy there. And Armani, he could have lost more. He didn't have his army, his units quite in position. So only losing 2, yeah, no big deal for either side. As we do have the 3rd base here on the way for Creator, or will it get started rather soon? That 350 3rd base just as soon as he does have the money for it. But, okay, so this is going to be a really quick Twilight out of this. It's, and Void Ray into Oracle, too, so I think Creator is going to go for a similar build to what we saw in game number 2 versus Solar. Well, yeah, no, we saw in game number 2 versus Solar, where he kind of got that 3rd base. I mean, granted that he got a 5-minute 3rd base in the previous game, but after that, it was Twilight Aggression. In game number 2 versus Solar's case, it was for Blink, it was for a couple of Mortals, all that fun stuff, but this time, well, it probably is going to be for Glaives. There we go. So it's going to be Glaives out of the Stargate. And that does mean that Armani's going to have to scout this, but at the end of the day, Armani does have his Roach Warrant on the way. And, you know, these Glaive timings that we see Protoss players going for, where they're like, Stargate into Glaives with the quick 3rd, and I'm just going to go kill you. That only works if the Zerg isn't building units. And considering how popular the Queen Walk is, which builds a lot of roaches, I don't know, it doesn't feel like nearly as impactful as it used to. Now, there was a time where Stats was just killing players left and right with this idea, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to go take a quick 3rd base, and I'm going to get a Stargate, so you're going to be greedy. And then I'm just, oh, I got a gas drone, huh? That was unexpected. But anyway, point being, it caught a lot of Zergs off guard, right? Because they're used to just being greedy and pumping drones as hard as they can when they see a Stargate opener. But that was not the case, as they did have to pump roaches instead to make sure they didn't die to this. Now, Zerglings and Queens are going to get on top of these Adepts even before Glaives are done, so they're going to take a somewhat decent trade here. 2 Adepts will die immediately, and the 3rd one's going to get pretty low. And, of course, the Shade's not going to be allowed to complete either. Oh, it will anyways, but that is a mistake here for Creator. The Zerglings are going to get this around. Roach is getting on top of this. Oh, that being said, though, what do we have in the natural? 2 Adepts are getting a lot of damage done. It's only 4 drones, though, and in all honesty, this is not getting the damage it needs to. Not yet. Now, Armani, how many queens does he have? He has 7. Is he walking them? He is. So this depth pressure is going to get dealt with, and then Armani's going to move across the map and try to kill his opponent. And yes, there are 2 more Stargates on the way. But, I mean, it's 2 more Stargates on the way. That's not really going to be impactful for this push right here, right now. And we will have the Adepts they're going to try to shade on in once again, but that looks like they are getting absolutely surrounded here. Yeah, this is not going to work on out. The last of the Adepts will actually, they will find their way on into the main base. Drones are going to get pulled for this, but they are so low that 2 of them will die immediately. And now we have the push coming on in at the front. A bunch of Roaches, a bunch of Ravagers, a bunch of Queens. And there are two Void Rays here, to be sure. But there are no more than that. 3 more are on the way, of course. And we will have the shield battery overcharge, but that's just going to get biled down ASAP. We'll get biled down. Do we not have the biles for that? There we go. Now, okay, now it's going to go on down here. 1 Void Ray does go on down, and now, well, the Zerglings, the Roaches, they're going to find their way on into the natural. And yeah, we have some reveals. That's going to be nice. But okay, you know what? How many Void Rays do we have? We have 7 Queens. We have 2 Void Rays, but we will soon have 3 more. And 5 Void Rays versus 7 Queens is approaching some acceptable level. Not quite, of course, because the Queens still have plenty of energy for transfuses. But once we get maybe up to 8 Void Rays versus 7 Queens, maybe that's going to be some... no, not even. As the Zerglings, the Roaches, they're going to keep finding their way on in. Now, the Zerglings and the Roaches cannot overextend from the Queens too far, because then they will just die to the Void Rays. But no, here's the problem, right? The Zerglings, the Roaches, the Ravagers, they will find the Stargates. They will prevent any more Void Rays from really getting out on the map here. The Biles are going to just target... I'm not exactly sure what Armani is targeting. Just hit the pylon. But anyway, GG Armani, he's going to take game number 1. So, spawning in the upper right, in the red, representing Team NV, trying to claw his way back, not drop out. 0-4. He is Creator. And his opponent on the other side of the map here in the blue for the Afrika Freaks, excuse me, he is Armani. So game number 1, Creator went for a build that really didn't work. Unfortunately, he did go for that adept timing after a Stargate, after a quick 3rd base, which can work if your opponent's not going for a Queen walk. When your opponent goes for a Queen Roach or Ravager walk, I mean, you just have nothing to defend. You don't get your Stargates in time to really have that critical mass of Void Rays to allow you to make that defense happen. You don't have, and you don't have a powerful ground army. It's just a bunch of adepts, which are not good against Roach, Ravager, Queen. So that really was, as much of anything else, a build order win for Armani. And I mean, sure, he executed well, and he picked the right strategy and off of scouting, I assume. But, I mean, honestly, I feel like with the way most Zergs are playing at this point, they say, yes, I see a Stargate unit, I'm doing the Queen walk. Like, that's just not even a question. That doesn't require much scouting. It's just, yes, I don't want to go to late game against this. Solar showed how hard it was, because I do believe that Solar is a far better player, or is in far better form than the Creator is at the moment. And Solar, I mean, he struggled. It took Creator making a big mistake for Solar to win that game. But look at this. Creator, he's getting even spicier here in this game number 2. Going for a really quick Twilight. Pretty much the fastest you can get, which could be a couple things, right? This could be Glaives. That's kind of the most common build. This could be a Dark Shrine. This could be some sort of a DT drop build. It could be Glaives into DTs or DTs into Glaives. Or it could be something different entirely. I mean, we could see a Charge All-In. It's not something we've seen in a while. But there we go. Twilight is done. Robo is on the way. This is most likely going to be Glaives. Although I'm kind of hoping it's not. Because I do not like Glaives in this matchup. It feels like maybe you throw it in once a series to try to keep a Zerg honest. And then you accept you're going to lose that game in like an extended series. Because I just don't see this build kill Zergs. The defense is too well defined, but there we go. Glaives are on the way, so we're going to have to see whether Creator can make this work. I hope he does, because I want to see game number 3. I want this to be a somewhat even series, but I'm not all that hopeful. So we will have Armani attempting to scout on in. And that is one of the benefits here from what the way this map works, really, and the way Armani has been placing his scouting, is he's not really going to be able to find his way on into the main base to see this, but he does see the 2 adepts. And he does see that there is no third base. He sees that there is no gas, at the very least. There's no gas on one of the Vespene geysers, maybe the second. It looks like, yeah, Creator's going to take that one. But, I mean, there's no gas at 3:30, which is kind of that gas timing that most races actually take their secondary gas unless they're Terran. And that really should be all that he needs to know. So there we go. Spore's on the way, Zergling's on the way, Roach is on the way. How many queens do we have? We have 4 queens, soon to be more, I assume. And what the Roach is getting on the way here, the creep has been fully spread on out. Armani's going to say, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, you got 4 gateways. I can do the math there. Oh, 1 queen's almost going to go down, and that was the high energy queen, so nice targeting there from Creator, but the shades will not complete, and now it's Roach's Ravagers. Yeah, well, look at this. Armani, he's going for the Ravager attack version, which means you just get a bunch of Zerglings and 3 Ravagers, and then you get this round, and then you bile everything down. Which, when it works out, is a greedier way to do it, but also a very powerful way to do it. So, that's absolutely going to work. Oh, wait, is this? No, that's just 4 gate. Okay. It is still 4 gate. I thought I saw 5 Adepts warping on in, but that's not the case. And now we do have a Dark Shrine follow-up. Immortals following up here. So, Armani is going to go for a DT Immortal follow-up. Visible there from the production tab. Now, he may go for, like, an Immortal Archon follow-up. Okay, so the Ravagers and the Zerglings will find this army. Biles are going to cover it, and yes, those are splits. Nice, they're going to be attempted, but it's not really going to be good enough here, as all but 1 will go on down. So, if we look at resources lost, yeah, that kind of tells the story. If we look at resources lost in that fight, 14 Zerglings for 7 Adepts. Yeah, it's not looking pretty. But maybe, just maybe, there's the chance that Creator will be able to get something done with his Dark Shrine that he was not able to get done with the Adepts originally. As now we do have, once again, the Biles are going to try to knock this Warp Prism down. And Creator, at the very least, is on top of things there. He says, okay, well, you're not going to get my Warp Prism that easily, but honestly, does it really matter? I'm not convinced it does. Now we do have Overseers on the way here, so this Dark Shrine is not really going to get much done either. We have 2 Overseers on the way. And probably that's 1 at home and 1 scouting on into the natural and into the main base. So this Dark Shrine, honestly, it's just going to get scouted anyways. Pretty much right at the time that we might see any DTs get warped on in. And actually, look at this. Well, actually, is it going to get scouted? Yes, okay, it will. We'll get the scout off there. See the, well, the pylon as well, but whatever. The Dark Shrine is now scouted. Armani should not take any damage from this. As yeah, he lost an Overlord, but whatever, right? That's not a big deal. So we do have a Creator. Now he's going to posture out on the map. And this may be for Archons. This may just be for Archons to add on to the main army. There we go. Archons getting morphed on in. That being said, though, they are far away from that main army. So this actually may be for, like, combined Archon drop and Immortal pressure. Huh. And we will have a double Stargate on the way behind this. So the Archon drop coming on in here. These are roughly damaged queens. So that does mean that they're not going to be all that impactful. And actually, the entire army of Armani is going to get dragged on into the main base, which does give Creator license to maybe get something done outside of the third. But now, because he's on creep, Creator is aware of things, or Armani, excuse me, is aware of things. Creator's not going to get much done here. Zergling counterattack on top of the third base will be rejected for the time being. Here's Zerglings. They're just going to target down the shield battery. Or not. Alright, so now the Roach to the Ravagers, they're going to come on in here. We will see a recall, but 1 Immortal gets targeted down immediately, and a Stalker as well. And now, well, it is time for Armani to make use of his massive supply lead. Yeah, these Adepts are not going to get anything done either. It looks like the Archon drop on the far side also... Actually, no, this one is being rather successful as Queens are starting to go down to the Warp Prism. No, the Warp Prism stay alive. Now we're going to have a big Warp in on here into the main base, just out of vision. Now, that being said, of course, charge is not yet done, so these zealots are not the most incredible things, as we do have, of course, Armani on the other side of the map just going to push on in because, well, he has a 50 supply lead, and 20 of that is in his base, so that means he's going to do a really good job of just kind of killing all of these Immortals. Shield Battery Overcharge is doing a good job, but it's just going to get targeted down. That being said, though, with the Phoenix out, they will kill down these DTs. Now it's going to be a DT hold here. And that becomes a little bit problematic, as actually, Creator is going to be able to make this hold happen, as these Archons are still doing tremendous work. But I believe the Warp Prism did die. No, War Prism's still alive. Where is the War Prism? Okay, I guess it was recalled. Anyway, these Phoenix, they're trying to do something here, and actually we're playing the Phoenix DT, is the name of the game here, I guess. Which is, that's an old style. Certainly an old school style. I'm surprised we don't see the Queens walking. But anyway, Zerglings, Roaches, Ravagers, they're going to find their way on in, and we will have Observers here. Oh, you know what? Just barely not. Both Observers will go on down once again. DTs are just doing what they can to make this happen. This is really annoying from Creator, by the way. He's kind of dead, but he's not because he has DTs. He has the Invisible Men. And that does mean that with the Phoenix keeping everything alive, well, he just can't really take the fight he looks for, but... well, the Immortals, they're going to be picked on up, and they will be saved for the moment. But yeah, again, it's just mass DTs, and no detection is really being allowed to find its way on into the map, find its way on into Creator's base. Their Creator is slowly dying. Is now okay. We do have an Observer now. We do have an Overseer. It's going to go down once again. But how many DTs do we have on the map? There are now 3 instead of, I believe it was 5 that existed. So slowly, ever so slowly, we're starting to see detection find its way on in and actually get some damage done here. And you know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, these DTs are doing good work to be sure, but we're starting to see the economy of Creator really start to get ravaged. As yeah, the DTs are doing a really good job of knocking down these Zerglings, but DTs, they only kill one Zergling at a time, and that does mean the natural will die. The third base is not mining. Creator, he's effectively on one base. Okay, this third base will be allowed to stay alive for the time being, even if it is heavily damaged. But now, of course, we do have Hydras on the way here. These Phoenix are really causing a problem for Armani, as it is 8 Phoenix, and there are not enough Hydras here to really deal with this at the moment. We have 7 Hydras, and you need like double the Phoenix number to really have effective Hydra defense. So Armani, actually, he's only on 49 workers, as he has taken some damage from these from the different run-bys and things. And his army supply is not all that impressive. The DTs really did work. So we do have now Creator moving across the map, and with charge, really with charge, he can maybe get something done here. Now we do have the Spores they're going to take at the front, but it's only Hydras, right? You do need some Roaches, and the Roaches are getting warped on in, but they're not here yet. And charge slots, of course, are actually very good against Hydras. So now with the charge slots, you're going to get on top of things, on top of the Queens as well. We're going to see lifts on top of the majority of this army. The Spores are not in the proper position. And it looks like, yeah, our Creator, he's just going to steamroll through this. Oh, the Phoenix, though, they're running out of energy. And it's just a mortal charge. But no, it looks like, yeah, Creator, he's going to make this push happen. As strange as it is, this build is going to work on out here. The drones, of course, they've been pulled. The Zealots are going down, and now it's drones against Immortals, which, you know what? Not the best, not the worst fight to have. But, oh, yeah, Armani, he is dead here in this game. GG, what a game from Creator. He makes it work. The Invisible Men, they're too powerful. And now, we're going to go to game 3. That was unexpected. Really cool, but unexpected. We saw Creator playing a style that was not really popular, or that was, I guess I should say, was popular in Brood War, right? You had Phoenix, or you had Corsair DT. Now that's Phoenix DT, same thing. And well, when a Zerg can't keep detection up, the DTs will make the hold happen. Now I think the play there for Armani was to just sit back a little bit, drone up, not keep committing, and go from there. But that didn't happen. Armani really committed on into that because he felt that he had Creator dead. I thought he did too, right? Creator lost his natural. Creator was losing 30 workers, but the follow-up with the DTs and the charge loss and the Immortals with 8 Phoenix in the sky absolutely allowed him to make that happen. Anyway, now we're into this final game of this series. Winner moves on to face Bunny. Loser, well, they're out in 4th place. Let's get into things. Spawning in the upper right in the red, taking game number 2 with tremendous style. For Team NV, give it up for Creator. and his opponent in the bottom left. In the blue, last year's GSL round of 8, he is ARMANI. I think what I meant to say was last year's GSL quarterfinalist. There we go. That's how we say it. That's how English does work. But look at this. ARMANI's going to be able to get away with getting his natural at his natural, which I don't remember the last time I saw a Zerg do that. It is so meta now to just block the hatchery and go on in that ARMANI, I'm not even sure he knows how to play this game. I mean, he does, and he's going to rejoice about the fact that he does not have to deal with trickier reinforcement distances. But I wonder what this means for Creator. It does mean, of course, that he does have a little bit more income early. Is he even probe scouting? No, he's not. Actually, Creator's not probe scouting here, and that is... I wonder what this means. Now, he's doing a safer build. Right, he is going double gate before he gets the cyber, which does mean that that cyber will be delayed. And he's probe scouting now, but I wonder... Again, you really don't see a lot of this. This is very counter the meta. So, I'm not exactly sure what Creator has in mind. Now, he will scout on in, and we'll say, okay, well, you don't have a third base yet, or at least you don't have your natural as your third. That's good news, I guess, but I mean, Creator's not getting ready to take that, or ARMANI's not getting ready to take that base for another 30 seconds, or 10 seconds anyways. So it's not like that scout's going to be all that useful, and, well, all that Creator's doing with this scout is verifying that he's not getting link-blooded. Which, you know, in all honesty, seeing the drones in the natural does not verify that. That just means that ARMANI has moved probes over from the main to the natural. But anyway, ARMANI now going to try to take this third base, and actually the probe's going to be a little bit annoying here, but at the end of the day, ARMANI will be able just fine to take that base. And now Creator, I guess he's seen all he needs to see. He has seen the fact that his opponent has gone for a third base, and there we go. It will be a Twilight once again. I do believe that this will be a more committed piece of Twilight tech here for Creator, because he cut a lot of corners in the early game. He didn't scout. He got his natural very quickly. He got a later cyber. And all of that does mean when you're just really committing to your mineral income as fast as possible, generally that means you're trying to make something happen early. Generally that means you're cutting corners now so you can get that faster timing later. It's not a guarantee. But I think we're probably going to see like 5 or 6 gate glaive instead of 4. ARMANI, for his part, did go for a quick Overlord speed in this game. So he will get the scout off. He says, okay, I see gateways on the way. I see a Twilight blinking. I see it actually getting chronoed. Let's drop a Roach Warren. So the Roach Warren will be done. Roaches will be on the way by the time these glaives are done. Actually, what are we on? We're gonna... You know what this is? Actually, this is something we saw Joe-Un do against DRG in... Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, Creator is just playing a really interesting build. So, Joe-Un played a build where he went 3-gate glaives into a quick third base, into a Blinkstalker +1 immortal timing that bopped DRG in Group B of this, of the ITaX, in the final game of the day. But this is like an inverse stats build, right? You get glaives at the glaive timing, but you don't get a robo, and you only run like 12 of them across the map. Meanwhile, you're getting Stargate. So the Roaches are not quite done here, but with Zerglings on the way, these Adepts are not going to be all that successful. And this... Okay, the Overlord will die, and the Stargates were not scouted. Oh, this is cool. It's going to be double Stargate Phoenix. Now, this one should get scouted here. Yeah, ARMANI will get the scout on off. Sees that it's Phoenix on the way. Sees that it's double Stargate. And he should know how to react to this. Here we go. Lair on the way. We should start to see some spores get down. Of course, it's N spores per base, where N is the number of Stargates here when your opponent is going Mass Phoenix. So we should see 2 spores per base, as the Zerglings are actually getting tremendous damage done here. They probably could kill that base, but they don't want to. because that's going to be a little bit too tricky, and they probably sacrifice all of their lives for it. But hey, they get 2 Adepts, they get a Stalker, and they still sacrifice most of their lives for it anyways. So now we do have the Adepts. They're going to shade across the map once again, split it, attempting to split up the army here of Creators. They will find a Queen. But at the very least, they're going to get some spores. And when you get spores like that, that does mean it's going to be a little bit easier for Phoenix to really find their way out and get some damage done. Oh, look at this though. They're going to find the transfer. That's a really cool move there from Creator. He realizes just how Armani's going to play this and how Armani has been playing this, so he's going to look to punish that. But, I mean, he gets 3 workers. At the end of the day, well, moves like this, they don't get a lot of damage all at once, but over the course of time, it's a lot of earned value indeed. So another couple drones will go on down, but more importantly, I believe the Nidus was scouted. So that does mean that Creator should be aware of this. He should, and he does have Immortals and Charge on the way. So the Adepts are going to shade on top of a bunch of Queens. That shouldn't surprise Creator, though, because, I mean, it is a Stargate play. You build Queens against Stargate. But notice how active Creator has gotten on the map with his occasional Zealots and whatever. He is looking for Overlords. He's looking for vision, and he will find an Overlords on the left-hand side. But, well, the Nidus is done, and we may see vision in the right spot. Now, the Stalkers here, they're going to try to ward this off, and it looks like it's going to have to be a far Nidus on this map. There we go. So the Nidus here outside of the base here. Armani will not be successful in getting that Nidus that maybe he wants to get. But at the end of the day, no big deal. If the Roaches, they're moving across the map, they will be perennially lifted, though. And that does mean a couple of them will die before they really do find their way across the map here. The Nidus is going to get found, but the Queen, not going to pop out in time. Okay. This is actually not all that great for Armani whatsoever. This is the second time in as many, well, not in as many games, but this is the second time that he has attempted a Nidus today that has been found. Once again, that second Nidus is going on down. This one, though, should be okay. That being said, though, Creator, he's going to take a fight against Armani's army before Armani's army is totally there. So this is going to be really nice indeed. But now the Queens are here. Now the rest of the Roaches are here. So we're going to have to see whether he can hold off against more. And honestly, I think he will, right? There's not a lot here. The army supplies are not all that different. There are Immortals on the ground. There is Charge on the ground. The Phoenix will be able to deal with anything that pops out of this Nidus in the sky. And this is, again, looking rather tasty here. Yeah, okay, so it's yeah, 3 Queens. That being said, the Roaches are going to get on top of this Immortal, on top of these Adepts. But now there are 2 Immortals here. A nice concave here from Armani behind some shield batteries. Of course, the Nidus in the main base got nothing done. And now we're going to have to see whether Creator is going to be able to hold this in the front. Now we have another Nidus coming on up here, but now the Phoenix lifting up anything and everything, at the very least forcing Queens to spend their energy. How many Queens versus Phoenix? It is 10 Phoenix, it is 9 Queens. So theoretically, you could lift up every single one and kill them off one by one, but I don't think that's what's going to happen here. So we have another Nidus coming on in. Roaches are going to find their way around the back of the wall, but it's only 4 Roaches, even if it does mess with the aggro just a little bit. But the Queens are starting to get lifted here. The Queens are starting to go on down. The Roaches are starting to go on down, even as the gates do get depowered. And that's going to be it. GG Creator. He's going to make the hold.